Brothers and sisters, welcome back. Today I want to remind you of a powerful truth. No mountain is too high when God is walking with you. Whatever you're facing, whatever looks impossible, God's presence makes the climb not only possible, but purposeful. There are seasons in life where the mountain before you seems unscalable, so tall that it hides the sunlight, so vast that you can't even see around it. And yet God says, walk. Not run, not leap, not fly, walk. Because when God walks with you, the climb becomes possible. Every step is covered in grace. Every slip is caught by mercy. Every breath you take in struggle is matched by a divine strength that keeps you standing. Mountains were never meant to intimidate the believer. They were meant to be testimonies of what God carried you over. Mountains are part of the spiritual landscape of faith. They appear as challenges, trials, uncertainties, and impossible dreams. But when God walks with you, He does not just give you endurance, He gives you revelation. What you see as an obstacle, He sees as an opportunity. What you view as a wall, He sees as a window into greater strength. That mountain is not your enemy. It's your promotion in disguise. The people around you may try to talk you down. It's too high. You're not ready. You're wasting time. But when God gives the order to ascend, you don't need everyone's approval. Their fear doesn't determine your faith. If God says up, go up. When Israel was under enemy oppression, God commanded Barak to go up to Mount Tabor and fight Sisera's army. From a natural view, the mountain was risky, and the odds were uneven. But Barak obeyed, and because God went before them, the impossible became a supernatural victory. You see, when God walks with you, He doesn't just guide you, He fights for you on the mountain. People often ask, why would a loving God allow me to face something this steep? But perhaps the real question is, what might happen if I climb it with Him? You don't need a ladder. You don't need a shortcut. You need endurance and trust. For the same God who led the Israelites by cloud and fire, who opened up the Red Sea, still leads His people today, not around the mountain, but through it. Jonathan saw a seemingly impossible situation. Philistine soldiers stationed high on a cliff. But instead of retreating, he said, perhaps the Lord will act in our behalf. Nothing can hinder the Lord from saving, whether by many or by few. With that bold faith, he climbed the steep cliff with just his armor bearer, and with God's help, defeated the enemy. This reminds us that even when the odds are stacked high, literally like a mountain, faith in God makes all things possible. Jonathan didn't climb in his own strength. He climbed with confidence that God was with him, and that made all the difference. One of the greatest tricks of the enemy is to make you think the mountain means God is absent. But the truth is, the presence of a mountain is often proof that you're heading somewhere sacred. Mountains test your devotion. They reveal whether you're following God for comfort or for covenant. And as you climb, your faith grows legs and your praise grows lungs. Don't let the magnitude of what you're facing steal the majesty of who is walking with you. God is not intimidated by your impossibility. He does not glance at your mountain and scratch his head in confusion. He doesn't ask for a rope or a map. He is the way. That should tell you something. Your next step doesn't rely on your own direction, but his presence. Sometimes it's not the mountain outside you, but the one inside. Doubt, fear, guilt, shame. These internal mountains are steep because they grow in silence. But God walks with you there too. He enters the caverns of your private pain, shines his light, and shows you a path out. No mountain within or without is high enough to separate you from his love. Let's not forget Mount Sinai, where God met Moses in thunder and cloud. The mountain shook with his presence. It wasn't comfortable, but it was holy. The climb may be difficult, but if God has summoned you higher, it's because he wants to show you something no one else can see. The climb doesn't just change your surroundings, it changes you. It stretches your perspective, your discipline, your prayer life. By the time you reach the top, you're not just standing above the problem. You've become a person who can handle greater purpose. God doesn't raise your altitude without first deepening your root. Psalm 18:33 tells us that he makes my feet like the feet of deer and sets me on my high places. This verse reminds us that God equips us for every climb. He gives us balance where things feel unstable, grace where the path is narrow, and strength where the journey feels long. Just like a deer moves effortlessly across rugged cliffs, God will steady your steps and place you exactly where he wants you, on high ground. You're not meant to stumble in fear, but to stand with confidence, knowing that he's lifting you higher with every step. Remember Habakkuk 3:19. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights. This is not poetic fluff. It's spiritual truth. God will give you the footing to walk where others fall. He'll give you agility where others grow weary. He'll help you dance on peaks where you once trembled at the base. There is something holy about a person who keeps climbing even when they're limping. Faith isn't the absence of hardship. It's the presence of a decision to keep moving with God, even when the terrain feels brutal. You may be tired, you may feel alone, but the truth remains, you are not climbing alone. Many people settle at the base of the mountain because the climb looks long. But God never called you to settle. He called you to rise. Even if it takes longer than you thought, even if the weather changes, and even if you climb slower than others. What matters is that you don't stop moving. Even Jesus climbed mountains. He didn't avoid elevation. He embraced it. On the Mount of Olives, he wept. On the Mount of Transfiguration, he revealed his glory. On Calvary's hill, he was crucified, and each mountain led to deeper purpose. Don't run from yours. Embrace the weight of the journey, because purpose is found in the climb. Right in the heart of your journey, remember this truth from Isaiah 52:12. For the Lord will go ahead of you. Yes, the God of Israel will protect you from behind. As you face the mountain before you, know that God is already at the summit, clearing the way, preparing the victory, and setting the stage for your breakthrough. He's not only ahead of you, leading the path, but he's also behind you, guarding what you cannot see. You are surrounded by his presence. You are shielded by his hand. And because of that, no height is too intimidating and no climb is too great. The mountaintop is not always about arrival. It's about perspective. When you reach the top, you begin to see why the valley was necessary. You begin to understand why certain doors were closed, why certain people walked away, and why the climb took as long as it did. Sometimes your mountain isn't for you, it's for others watching. Your faith becomes a testimony. Your perseverance becomes someone else's hope. When they see you climb with God and come out victorious, they start believing they can too. If the mountain feels endless, remind yourself that God is eternal. He is not bound by time or pace. He knows the exact moment you'll reach the summit. Trust him, even when the path is hidden and the fog is thick. He hasn't brought you this far to leave you now. Take comfort in this. God doesn't just walk with you, he walks ahead of you. He prepares the path, clears the dangers, and marks the milestones. He leaves grace at every turn and strength at every bend. You're not guessing your way up. You're walking in steps that have already been secured. Your mountain might look different from others. Yours might be singleness, sickness, debt, loneliness, or confusion, but the solution is always the same: walk with God. He is not a distant coach yelling instructions. He is Emmanuel, God with us, hand in hand, step by step. So I declare this over your life today. You will not be defeated by this mountain. You will not camp in discouragement. You will not give up halfway, because the God who walks with you is greater than the mountain that stands before you. Climb in faith, rise in purpose, and reach in victory, because no mountain is too high when God is walking with you. Thank you for watching, brothers and sisters. Keep climbing, keep trusting, and never forget, when God walks with you, no mountain can stop you. Stay encouraged.